Cara, welcome to my channel and welcome back if you're a subscriber. Today we're going to be making a really fun stepper style card using this absolutely lovely 5x7 trifold showstopper card die set from Made to Surprise. Now to make this card we're using the base plate, which is this, and all these mats and layers here, and we're just making a single, cutting this through once. So if you were to cut this through twice, you'd use this sort of mat and layer here, and you can make a double, which would make your showstopper. But we're making a stepper style card today. So I'm going to talk through all the products I've used, show you what I'm using to make my card, and then we'll make it together. So we're going to use this die set. I am using the absolutely gorgeous Essential Craft papers from Craft Consortium in the grunge midtones. This paper pad is absolutely stunning, as you can see, and I'm using this colour here, this blue, so I'm making a masculine 70th birthday card. I'm also going to be using the absolutely lovely Showstopper Puns A5 stamp set, and I'm going to use this Time to Celebrate This Huge Birthday stamp. For my circle to put my number 70 on, I'm using the Nested Scallop Circles by Creative Craft Products, and I'm using the sort of smaller ones, not the smallest but not the biggest either. Got these two here, so they'll make my sort of central topper. As I said, I've cut my main plate out once, and I've inked it up just sort of a vintage style border around when I put my mats and layers on, just like a vintage sort of book, sort of old sort of tea bag paper sort of look. I've inked it up using the VersaFine Clear in Sand Dune. I've got a piece of 10x7 cardstock scored at 5, and that will make my card base, which our folded stepper, which I'll show you in a second, will stick onto. I've then gone ahead and cut my mats and layers using the mats and layers dies, and I have already stuck them together. So I've got the mat and layer for here. I've used a smooth silver cardstock which I got off Amazon, which is something like 200 GSM. I will link it in the description box below for anyone. And again, I cut this one as well and stuck them together. I did the one for here, again in the silver and the blue, and then the smaller ones I've just cut in the silver, so the matte rather than just the first matte layer rather than the two, just for a little bit of contrast, and they will go on here like this. I've cut my two scallops again, same colours, the silver and the blue, and they will be going on there on the front on some foam. I've gone and I've punched these really cute little balloons, which is a little balloon punch I got again off Amazon, which I will link in the description box below for you. Just this one, really super cute, and they are sort of going to go maybe on here, on there, just for some decoration. I've got these absolutely gorgeous gems from Hunky Dory Crafts, the diamond sparkles in beautiful blues. I'm probably going to use these blues or these blues here. Also got some just silver gems from Craft Consortium from their wedding collection. And I've got some unbranded sort of chunky dies, and I've just die cut the number 70. Again, I've used the same ink, and I've just inked up my cardstock, die cut these onto a foam sheet, which again I got off Amazon. I will link them in the description box below for you. And it's just to add some dimension to the number 70 to the topper. And again, I will put gems and everything on that. So let's move all this out the way. I will just talk through with you what you need to do first of all. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you've die cut your main plate here, so you're going to take your scoreboard just line it up on any track and just go down every single sort of score line on your scoreboard, just to really make these score lines, because they're more just like guidelines. So you really want something that'll come through on the back then, so you can really see. So then with this sort of shape, there's a big shape on your right hand side and the smaller sort of shape on your left hand side. You're going to want to make this one a valley and this one a mountain. So you can sort of tease this one up and then tease that one in, like that. And you can do the same with every single one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are mountains, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be valleys. Push it over so everything lines up. I like to fold it over as well, just to make sure and give a good burnish. I've used a 300 GSM cardstock, so you might want to use something a little bit sort of thinner, maybe a 250. So I did have a little bit of trouble sort of folding that then, but that is absolutely fine. Then that will stick onto my card base here. As I said, this will stick onto here and you'll have it that way, and that is how you get the sort of stepper look. So I'm going to go ahead and stick my mats and layers onto this base, and then we'll stick it together. So now we're going to let all this dry, just let these dry in place. I've used the Collal all-purpose glue just to add some extra strength to my project. So I'm just going to leave that stand up now, let it dry. We're going to stamp our sort of sentiment inside here and give this another little burnish, and then we'll stick it down and decorate. So I've just gone ahead and I've cut a piece of the smooth silver glitter cardstock, which we are using here, just leaving 1/8 of an inch border all the way around, just so when we stick this on, you can see inside. So then we're looking at silver rather than white, because I think it looks a lot nicer than looking in at that. And I've also, instead of stamping my sentiment, I've gone and I pulled out the Hunky Dory Birthday Wishes sentiment pad, the trim one where you've got all the guidelines, which is absolutely amazing. It's the Trim Me foiled insert pad, and I've picked this one, so I've cut it down to a 7x5, followed the guidelines on the back, and it says, "Today is your birthday, so celebrate in style. Have fun creating memories to look back on and smile." And that is going to go now inside our card blank here, and that'll fit in just like that, leaving a very small border. So let's go ahead and get that put in. Now once that dries, before we stick that onto there, just going to let this silver dry a bit. So I'm going to bring in my 2 scallop circles, and a number 70. Which is going to go on there like that. We're going to stick these two together and then we're going to decorate this. So for this I'm going to use my Crafter's Companion tape runner. Make sure I've got an equal border on there. I'm going to peel the backing off my number 70. I have little clusters of balloons on there, and I think I'm going to bring some gems in here. And this is nice and solid there. To attach this, I'm going to use some red liner tape. I'll probably use some collal as well on top of my tape just to give me some wiggle room. I'm going to stick my tape all the way around this part because this is the bit that's going to be stuck down. So I put my red line tape down. As I said, I'm going to use some collal as well, just to sort of grab the gaps where I haven't used the red liner, but also to give us some wiggle room. I'm going to pull in our card base, and we're just going to line it up perfectly here. I like to pick it up just to make sure everything is exactly where it should be. And that is exactly where it should be. So we'll let that take hold. I'm going to put some foam on the back of here to put that on there. And then we'll decorate. So let's take our backing off our foam and attach this on. I think this looks absolutely lovely. So I'm going to bring in my little balloons and just decide how many I'm going to have and where we're going to place them. I'm also going to stick down some extra gem embellishments as well. So I'm going to pop this on high speed for you now, and I'll be back when it's all finished. And here's our finished tri-fold stepper style card. And how gorgeous is that? That hasn't taken us long to make at all, using that absolutely gorgeous die set. Just a quick thing, the glue I used to stick these little balloons down is the Beerly Arts Precision Craft Glue. I've just put it in my own little bottle, which is a quick grab glue, so it's really good for doing things like this. But I always swear by Collal for construction and sort of to add strength to our project. So there's our finished card. Like I said, it didn't take long at all with that die set, and it's absolutely stunning. You could even put two of these together to make like a sort of gatefold. Might be a future idea for a video, but for now there is our trifold stepper card, 70th birthday. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it. As always, I will link all products I've used in the description box below for you, so you can have a look if you want to get any yourself, if you haven't already got them. I'll be back soon with more. Bye!